Welcome to a deep dive into the world of personalized fitness through the lens of, you guessed it, a DNA test.
That's right.
We're going to be talking about the MyFitGene test.
Okay.
It's designed to give you kind of like a unique look into how your body works when it comes to fitness, nutrition, and just your overall wellness. We'll explore how this test can help you understand your body better.
Mm,
We're lucky to have reports from two fitness enthusiasts
great.
who've actually used the MyFitGene test and found it super valuable in reaching their fitness goals.
I'm excited to hear about their experiences.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Let's start by breaking down what this test actually is, what it covers, and what makes it so different from everything else out there.
Well, the MyFitGene test, it looks at three main areas, fitness, nutrition, and wellness.
Okay.
When we talk about fitness, it analyzes things like your muscle composition, how your body responds to exercise, your risk for sports injuries, even your cardiovascular health. You get a pretty good picture of your strengths and weaknesses from a genetic standpoint.
Wow, that's a lot. So like it can tell me if I'm better suited for like long distance running or if I should be, lifting weights.
Exactly. It can give you insights into whether you're genetically predisposed to excel in endurance sports or power sports.
That's so cool. So like how does it actually work? Like what kind of information does it give you about nutrition?
Well, on the nutrition side, it delves into things like your sensitivity to carbs and fats, potential vitamin deficiencies you might have, and even if you're intolerant to gluten or lactose.
Oh, wow. So it can really pinpoint those specific things that might be affecting how my body's reacting to certain foods.
Absolutely. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The test also looks at aspects of wellness, like personality traits, such as resilience and sensitivity.
Hmm.
And these traits can play a big role in how you approach challenges and stress.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know some people who just seem to like thrive under pressure.
Exactly. And others might be more sensitive and need to manage stress differently.
That makes sense. So this test can actually tell you like how your personality might affect your fitness journey.
Yeah. It can give you insights into your genetic predispositions for these traits and how they might influence your approach to fitness.
That's incredible. So is it just a blood test?
No, actually, it's really simple. It just requires a saliva sample,
Okay.
uses the latest sequencing technology,
Mm-hmm.
and it's accredited by ISO and NABL, so you can be confident in the accuracy and reliability of the results.
So it's pretty accurate.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm really starting to see how this could be like a game changer for people who are serious about fitness.
I think so too. It's
Yeah.
like having a personalized roadmap for your health and wellness.
Okay. Let's dive into the specifics a bit more.
Sounds good.
What kind of fitness insights can someone expect to get from this test?
Well, imagine getting personalized insights into your athletic potential and injury risks.
Okay. I like the sound of that.
One of the key things it analyzes is your muscle fiber type to determine if you're more predisposed for power or endurance sports.
Okay, so this is where we're getting into like whether I'm a sprinter or a marathon runner. Yeah.
Exactly. It can tell you if you're genetically wired for those short bursts of energy or if you have the endurance for longer distances.
Okay, and so what about those two fitness enthusiasts you mentioned?
Yes. So one of them discovered that they actually had a pretty balanced muscle fiber composition, and this explained why they were always good at both sprinting and long distance running.
Wow, that's fascinating. So it's like their genes were giving them the best of both worlds.
Exactly. And the other enthusiast, they were surprised to learn that they didn't have the protective gene variant for ACL ruptures, which are, unfortunately more common in women.
Right.
So this was really valuable information for them because it allowed them to take preventative measures in their training.
Okay, so they could like adjust their workouts and focus on strengthening those areas.
Exactly. And it highlights the importance of understanding your genetic predispositions for injury prevention.
This is all so interesting. I'm starting to see how this could like change the way people approach their workouts.
Yeah, it really can. And it's not just about muscle fiber type. The test also analyzes your genetic response to exercise.
Hmm. Like how my body actually reacts to working out.
Exactly. For instance, it can reveal if you're predisposed to weight loss resistance,
Oh, that's interesting.
which means, you might have to work harder than others to shed those extra pounds.
I know a lot of people who would be interested in knowing that information.
It's valuable information because it helps you understand why you might be struggling in certain areas and how to tailor your approach for better results.
Okay. I'm definitely starting to get it. So this test, it's like a window into how your body works on a genetic level.
That's a great way to put it. It gives you that deeper understanding of your unique blueprint.
So you can make informed decisions about your fitness journey.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back to delve even deeper into the world of personalized fitness with the MyFitGene test.
Welcome back.
Okay, so we just scratched the surface of what this MyFitGene test can do.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to dive into nutrition.
Yeah.
Like, how can this test help personalize what I'm eating, what I'm putting into my body?
Absolutely. I mean, we all know that nutrition is just so crucial for reaching our fitness goals.
Right.
And this test can actually give you a personalized look at how your body processes different nutrients.
Like what? What kind of things?
Well, for example, it can tell you how sensitive you are to carbs and fat, which is super important for weight management.
Mm-hmm.
One of the fitness enthusiasts, actually, they'd been struggling with their weight for a while, even though they were working out regularly.
Mm-hmm.
But the test revealed that they had this, genetic predisposition to gain weight on a high-fat diet. Oh, wow.
So that was like a big aha moment for them.
So they were able to, change their diet based on that information and see better results.
Exactly. They worked with a nutritionist.
Okay.
And made some adjustments, and yeah, they started seeing positive changes.
That's awesome. So it's not just about calories in, calories out. It's really about understanding how your body processes those calories.
Exactly. And another cool thing is it can also look at genes that are related to vitamin deficiencies,
Mm-hmm.
like vitamins B6, B9, C, and D,
Okay.
which are essential for overall health and energy levels.
Yeah, and it's you don't always know if you're deficient in something. You might think you're eating healthy, but you could still be missing out on key nutrients.
Exactly. And that's why this test can be so helpful. Like, for example, the second fitness enthusiast, the test actually showed that they had a high risk for vitamin D deficiency.
Really?
Yeah. And so he got tested, and sure enough, they were deficient.
So they started taking supplements, as their doctor advised,
Okay.
and they saw a huge improvement in their energy levels.
It's like this test can help you identify those hidden things that might be holding you back.
Exactly. And it also looks at things like gluten and lactose intolerance,
Right.
which can really impact your dietary choices and how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, if you're constantly feeling bloated or having digestive issues, it's hard to stay motivated with your fitness routine.
Absolutely. So understanding these sensitivities can really help you optimize your diet and feel your best.
Okay. This is all making so much sense. I'm starting to see how this test can connect all the dots between fitness, nutrition, and just feeling good overall.
Right. It's a holistic approach to well-being.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to dive into the next section.
Yeah.
What about how our mental well-being affects our fitness?
Oh, yeah, that's a really interesting area. We often overlook the connection between mental and physical health when it comes to fitness, but it's super important.
For sure. All right, so we've talked a lot about the MyFitGene test,
We have.
what it is, what it looks at. But now I'm kind of curious, how do we actually use this information?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to have all these insights,
Mm-hmm.
but how do we actually translate them into action?
Exactly.
So first things first, it's super important to remember that this test, it's not a diagnosis.
Right.
It's a guide. It's a starting point.
Okay.
It gives you valuable information, but you really want to work with healthcare professionals and certified fitness experts to interpret the results.
Okay, so it's like having a map,
Yeah,
but you still need someone to help
Yeah.
you read it, right?
exactly. You need a guide, someone who knows the terrain.
Okay. So let's say I get my results back and I'm ready to make some changes.
Okay.
Where do I even begin?
Well, let's break it down.
Okay.
Let's start with fitness, right?
Yeah.
We talked about muscle fiber type,
Hmm.
exercise response, injury risks.
Right.
So if you discover, for example, that you have a predisposition for endurance activities like, marathon running or cycling, you might want to focus on low impact exercises.
Okay.
But if you're more, built for power, you might thrive with high intensity interval training
Oh,
or weightlifting.
so it's really about tailoring your workouts to your genetic strengths.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what about nutrition?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a big one.
Huge.
But
Yeah.
how can this test help me figure out what I should be eating?
Well, it can reveal, if you're sensitive to carbs or fats.
Okay.
So if you discover, you're sensitive to carbs, you might benefit from a low-carb diet or maybe even a ketogenic diet.
Hmm.
And if you're sensitive to fats, you might want to focus on lean proteins and complex carbs.
Okay, so it's really about finding the right balance for your body.
It is, yeah.
Okay. What about things we talked about earlier, like the personality traits
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
and the learning styles?
Yeah.
How do those play into all of this?
Well, if you know you're highly resilient, for instance,
Yeah.
you can really use that to your advantage. You can push yourself harder,
Mm-hmm.
you can embrace challenges.
Okay.
But if you're more sensitive, it's important to be kind to yourself, Prioritize stress management techniques.
Like meditation or yoga.
Exactly. And when it comes to learning styles, if you're a visual learner, you might love following along with workout videos.
Yeah.
But if you're more kinesthetic, you might prefer hands-on activities like, dance classes or maybe even rough climbing.
Okay, so the takeaway here is that it's not just about like the physical aspects of fitness.
No,
It's about understanding your whole self.
your mind, body, everything.
Yeah.
It's about finding what works for you.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into personalized fitness, what's like the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is that knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding your genetic predispositions, it can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah,
But it's just the first step.
right.
The real magic happens when you take that information
Mm.
and you use it to create a personalized plan,
Okay.
a plan that supports your unique journey towards, a healthier, happier you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been so insightful. And for our listeners, if you're interested in learning more about the MyFitGene test, we'll be sure to include some links in the show notes.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for your best self.
Absolutely.